What's up, guys? We have another video. This is the first HGSS on video I've got on my channel, so pretty cool. I'm on the right playing Donchamp, and my new training partner Ben is on the left playing my Zekrom Samurott list. He doesn't have his own HGSS on deck as of yet, so he's playing mine. So I start first, and I communicate just to get another basic on the bench. Just in case he can get the donk. Fanfi's probably the best starter in this deck, to be honest, so it's pretty cool. Pretty good start. Now his turn, I am 99% sure he can get a Zekrom going first turn. Because he has a collector, he has a dual ball, he has 2 lightning energies, but his inexperience with my deck kind of shows through, and he decides to go for the Oshawott and the Tyrogue along with the Pachirisu instead of getting a Zekrom and Shaman. And he's also got the dual ball, which would have netted him the Unknown Dark to get the final energy to finish off the combo, to get that first turn knockout and really put me under pressure, because it makes me miss an energy turn, forces my Machop active, and forces me to have another basic on the bench next turn. So he misses that opportunity big time. And he also fails the sleep flip, so he's asleep from Clefaizique, and I basically just knock him out and get the reversal to bring up his Zekrom, put him back a turn as well, and knock that out with a plus power. So his turn now, and he's going to dual ball. I think he gets double heads there. I'm still not 100% convinced on dual ball. I can see it's obviously a good card, but yeah, for some reason he gets another Clefaizique. He's got one on his bench, I don't know why, but I guess he just used it as communication fodder in the end to get his duo. And he then goes for a Donchamp to get his Samurott, and then just does Mischievous Punch for 10 and he's awake, so that really didn't achieve much. He realised he couldn't really Clefaizique because he just got that Samurott. He doesn't really want to shuffle that in, so my turn, and I do nothing else other than Earthquake for another prize. I've got quite a slow setup myself, but I did get the Donphan on first turn to really put the pressure under. His turn, he does get the Samurott up, puts the energy on, and then just eats. I think he fails the sleep flip again, so I'm going to go ahead and get a Machoke with communication and attach that double colourless energy, so as soon as I get my Machamp up I can fight and tag that Donphan out any day, and yeah, I get another prize of Earthquake. He promotes his Samurott active. I'm not too sure if he can attack this turn, but he might be able to. Yeah, anyway, I think he goes for another dual ball. He gets a Pachirisu and an Igglybuff, which is my proxy for a Shaman. I don't know why I just don't get a Grass Pokemon or anything, but I used Igglybuff. Deal with it, and he goes ahead and Junipers, which is an amazing card, absolutely amazing. I don't actually run any in my Donchamp deck, but yeah, he goes ahead and knocks me out with Hydro Pump, which does a nice 70 damage, which makes 140 Earth weakness, and I really can't get anything going. I evolve into Machamp Prime and then basically just start foddering off Pokemon, letting him come back in prizes, because I really can't attack with anything at the moment. I can't get anything going. So I am foddering prize after prize, and he has brought it back to 4-3, and I decide what... I take my time deciding what to do. In the end I just leave the Machamp Prime bench, because I'm realising I'm only doing 40 with Crushing Punch. There's not much point. I'm just going to wait until that fighting energy comes, and just fodder off the Fanfi next. He tries to get another Oshawott going on, to get another Samurott going. I top deck a Pont, which is huge, absolutely huge, and I'm almost definitely going to get that other fighting energy. I use the communication just so that I can get something else on the bench, to get something going once this Machamp Prime inevitably hits the dust, and I'm going to go hit him for 80 with Champ Buster. I can't remember what the name is called. I'm so at lost with all these HGSS on cards. I've tested a lot with it, but Yeah, the name of attacks elude me. Yeah, he's going to Hydro Pump and leave his Samurott there to die next turn. I do get the Donchamp going, which is cool, and I also got the Collector, so I can start filling my bench with relevant Pokemon once again. So I get myself a Cleffa, Machop and Zora. I've actually since changed that Zora into a Cinccino, as I just found it's a much more versatile card in a lot of situations. Although Zoroark obviously has its uses, I just felt so many times that I could have won games if only I had Cinccino instead of Zora. So yeah, he goes ahead and knocks me out with his Zekrom after using Shaman to get those energies off the Oshawott onto his Zekrom, which is cool. And I'm going to go ahead and promote my Cleffa. I've got the Donchamp there for the Revenge KO. I also rare candy up my Machop to Machamp in case I need to use it again, but the match is kind of winding to a close now, unless he can get another Samurott going, but he's wasted a lot of resources, so it's not looking good for him. He's going to go ahead and Unknown Dark, something he should have done much earlier in the game, and then he realises, actually I tell him that he's already discarded the Dark Energy, so I let him take that back and let him Junk Harm instead. And he's just going to get his other Samurott. Then he realises that he's actually got no way of getting that Samurott out, and thus he doesn't really want to eke with Cleffa, because he's now got Samurott in his hand, so pretty bad play on his part. And he just retreats out into Shaman because it's got fighting resist, so I can't really one-hit KO it. He's going to go ahead and thin his deck, get a couple of basics, and pretty much end his turn. I do get the double colourless energy, so I do Fighting Tag to negate as much damage done to my bench as possible, and start using Crush and Punch instead. I go for the reversal just to see if I can get that last KO quickly, but I can't. So I just do the 40 to Shaman, and he does get the rare candy, and he can then evolve into Samurott, but he's relying on something God from this Juniper. I don't think he gets it. He needs 2 Lightning, 2 Super Scoop Ups or something like that, and to get lucky on heads and be able to retreat that Shaman out, and he doesn't really get it. He gets a Super Scoop Up but fails it, and it's game from there. So yeah, that's my Donchamp deck against my Zekrom Samurott deck. I feel that the Zekrom Samurott deck didn't really get done as much justice as I would like it to have done, so here is me playing the deck instead. We're about a minute into the match, and I've just collected to get the components I need for God Start, which includes Unknown Dark, which is an amazing tech in this deck, and it gets me the first turn KO, which puts so much pressure on him because it forces the Phanpy out, so there's no way of him getting a Donchamp out to Revenge KO, and it forces him to leave Machop active. He's going to scoop because he says he has no outs, but I tell him, you know, if you say you have no outs of that hand, you are absolutely crap at this game. So he does go for the Oak in the end, and he gets a Zora, and he is going to just pass, I believe, after I lecture him a bit more. He goes for Machop's attack, does actually get ahead, so it does 40 damage. So I'm kind of living on thin ice at this point. I Super Scoop up my Shaman, and then go ahead and attach a Patchy for when I need a Zekrom later on in the match. He goes for reversal, fails, and then he just lunges at me for 30, which he does succeed on, but I've got the Outrage next turn for doing anything I want to that Zora. So yeah, that's how, I mean, Zekrom can be so destructive if you can get it going off first turn. You put them under so much pressure, because the biggest thing is you do force out a Pokemon that they'd rather not have active, which is actually such a huge disadvantage in this format without things like Unknown Q, and you know, the only card that really remedies that is Switch. So that's why I still really like Zekrom, and I think it's going to be amazing when Catcher comes out. Maybe not amazing for Nats this year, but next format when Catcher does come out, I think Zekrom's a contender. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. These are my first HGSS on vids, so Still fairly inexperienced with the format in general, but definitely hope to be testing it out a lot more now because it is a lot of fun basically. It's like playing a totally new game. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. See you guys next week.